In this activity, what we're doing is applying what we just learned about how graphs represent motion to see how it actually applies to a moving man. We have a simulation that's going to show a man moving from left to right or right to left, or perhaps standing still, and you're first going to predict what you think the graph will look like, and then actually draw the graph itself. So in the spaces provided here, as we scroll down, the first thing I want you to do is, with your pen or pencil, I want you to sketch a graph of what you think the graph will look like when the man is standing still at 5 meters. So what will this graph look like when the man is simply standing still at 5 meters? Write down with your pen or pencil what you think, your guess as to what that graph will look like. A little bit later on, we'll test it out, see what it actually looks like, and see how close you got. The next one, I want you to have the man start at 0 and make him move to the right. And what would the graph look like if the man started at 0 and was moving to the right? Use your pen or pencil and sketch that out. Then I want you to start at 0 and make the man move to the left. What would that graph look like? And you're going to do this with all of the graphs on the first page and on the second page as well. And then when you're done doing that, we're actually going to see what the graph does indeed look like. And with a red colored pencil, we will draw on top of what you thought in case there's any differences. So at this point, pause the video and make your predictions. And when you're done making your predictions, unpause the video and we'll see what it actually looks like. Okay, so at this point you should have all your predictions made. Now the first one, we're going to make the man simply stand still at the 5 meter mark. So if we go to the actual graph here, we're going to have the man start at a position of 5 meters, and we're just going to let him stand there for the entire duration of this situation. And so what we see is we're getting a horizontal line, and the horizontal line is just at the 5 mark, staying where it's supposed to be there, just as we had seen before. So I'm going to pause it at this point because we can see what the graph is going to look like the entire way. Now if I go to my graph here, again with a red colored pencil, you're going to draw that line. Stays at the 5 horizontal line. So when standing still, the line is flat. So on that line there, you write the line is flat. The next one, we're going to start at 0 and make the man move to the right. So we're going to clear this here. We're going to start at the 0 mark. And we're going to make the man move to the right. We see it as the man is moving to the right, the line is going up because he's moving forward. So he's getting further and further from the 0. We can stop it here at this point. And now we want to sketch that line onto our graph using our red marker. So we're just going to draw a line going up. So when moving to the right, the line goes up. For the next one, we're going to have the man start at 0 and move to the left. So we will clear this here. Start at 0. This time we'll make the man move to the left. So he's essentially going backwards. And we see that the line is going down when he is moving backwards or moving to the left. We'll pause here at this point. We'll sketch that line. So starting at 0, you'll draw your line going down. So when moving to the left, the line goes down. And the next, we're going to start at 0 and make the man move slowly to the right. So we'll clear our graph here. We'll start at 0. And we are going to make the man move slowly to the right. We see that the line is going up because we're moving forward, we're moving to the right. It's a rather shallow line as well. We'll stop here at this point. We get the idea of what the graph looks like. So here we're going to draw, it has to be a very shallow line, just barely above the 0. So description of the line, when moving slowly, the line is shallow. For the next one, we're going to start at 0, and we're going to make the man move quickly to the right. So quicker than we did before. We'll clear this. We'll start at our 0. And we'll make the man move quickly to the right. And we see that again the line is going up, but this time it is much steeper than it was before. Pause there. Now we'll go back to our worksheet, and we'll draw again a steeper line than we did the previous time. So when moving quickly, the line is steep. Now for the next one, we're going to start at 0 and make the man speed up to the right. So we'll start by going slow, and then we'll speed up as we progress. We'll clear our work here and start at 0. So we're going to start out as slow. Now we'll start to speed up. And as we speed up, we see the lines start to get steeper. And curve upwards. So we want to sketch that graph now. We go over to here. It started by kind of staying flat at first, and then it was curving upwards. So when accelerating to the right, the line curves upwards. Now for the next one, we're going to start at 0 again and make the man speed up one more time. This time it's going to speed up to the left. We go back to our simulation and clear the graph. Start at 0. And now we are going to make him speed up to the left. So you're going to start out very slow. See the line going down. Now we're going to speed up. And as we speed up, we see that the line curves downward this time. So instead of curving upward like it did before, now it curves downward. So we'll start at 0, starting kind of flat, and then curves down. So in accelerating to the left, the line curves downward. Now what I want you to do here is finish this up. You're going to look at this part here and apply what you've learned. It says to look at the graph below, and for the different parts of the graph that are marked, write a statement about what is happening. Be sure to include the direction of motion and the speed of the motion. So for the first line here, you'll either state whether it's moving right, left, or not at all. So here's part A. During part A, is it moving right, left, or not at all? And then for the second line, you're going to be putting whether it's moving fast, slow, or not at all. So finish that worksheet up then, and apply what you've